Hello, 5th grade. We're on Domain 4, Lesson 14, The Return of Alonzo Quijano. Our objectives for today are to use text evidence to support the final characterization of Don Quixote, to correctly use commas to separate items in a sentence, and to correctly use the prefixes il, and inter, the suffix nes, and the root tract. Some key vocabulary. Last will and testament is a legal document in which a person states how his property should be distributed and to whom after his death. Rejoice is to celebrate. Scribe is a person who copies or writes out documents. Estate is property and belongings. Instrumental is very important. Turmoil, a state of extreme confusion or action. And an epitaph is something written or said about a person who died. Okay, it's going to be an independent reading, so you're going to go ahead and read through this chapter, and feel free to pause the video at any time. Okay, our word work for today is instrumental. In my madness, I made him my squire and was instrumental in getting him an island to govern. Instrumental means very important, and it is an adjective. So what we're going to be talking about is commas. So commas are used to separate items in a series. A series is a list of 3 or more items, and the last of the 2 in which are joined by and, or nor. So nor, or, and. Many sentences include a series of items. So if I was to list something, after the second, or after I was listing something 3 or more, I'm going to put commas after them. It's basically just listing using those commas. So this is an example. Before they went to play in the snow, comma, the children put on puffy coats, comma, woolen hats, comma, and colorful scarves. So you see that this is the listed items. These are the 3 things that the children put on. So those are broken up with using those commas. The batter hit the baseball, ran the bases, and slid over home plate. These are the 3 things that they are listing. They hit the baseball, they ran the bases, and they slid over home. Now notice the comma does not come over behind the and. We're just putting the commas where the items are listed. Now this is the end of a sentence, so we do not have to put a comma here. This is just a regular period. The band members were marching in formation, twirling batons or blowing trombones. Again, you see how they have the commas after the first 2 things that we're listing, and then they added that joining word, or, remember, or, and, or, nor. Those are words, what they put in there. So remember, these are the commas of the series. So it could be single words, so coats, hats, and scarves. In this one, these are a series of words, so puffy coats, woolen hats, colorful scarves. So it could be in various different ways. So remember that if you're listing things, consider are you listing something that's one item, or are you listing something that has a couple of words in that? So remember, a root is a main element of a word that forms the basis of its meaning. A prefix is a syllable or syllables that are placed at the beginning of a word to change the meaning, and the suffix comes at the end. So what we're going to do is do some practice. It seems blank that Don Quixote would charge at windmills, but he claimed that the windmills were actually giants that had been transformed by a wizard. Illogical. It seems illogical that Don Quixote would charge at windmills, but he claimed that the windmills were actually giants that had been transformed by a wizard. You can certainly admire Sancho for his blank in supporting Don Quixote throughout the text. Steadiness. So we added, from steady, we added ness. You can certainly admire Sancho for his steadiness in supporting Don Quixote throughout the text. Don Quixote became so blank by books about knights that he decided to become a knight. Distracted. So we're adding the prefix to the root word tract. Don Quixote became so distracted by books about knights that he decided to become a knight. Do you think it was a brave or blank for Don Quixote to let the prisoners go? Irresponsible. So remember, we're adding that prefix. Do you think it was brave or irresponsible for Don Quixote to let the prisoners go? Remember, adding those il, ers, ness, that's changing the meaning of the word. So your assessment is to complete each sentence with the correct word. And we will see everyone in the next lesson.